All right, so this is going to be part two of the explanation uh, video series that I've been doing. There's a couple of things that I left out in on the first video that I did. And these are actually really important to the expert advisor and reasons why it trades so well over the longer term. So the first thing I wanted to cover was the EA close all V5, which I haven't talked about that much in any of my videos or even on my website about the functionality of this expert advisor and why it's even used to begin with. So this EA is basically the expert advisor that closes all the trades from our three pairs that we trade. So for example, the pound Canadian dollar, the Aussie CAD, and the New Zealand CAD. The RMI EA inside candle V3 license, that is our main expert advisor, and that's the one that opens the trades on our three pairs. And the EA close all is the one that closes all the trades from our expert advisor from our pairs. All right, so the reason why we have two different EAs doing two different functions here is because if you go into the options, you'll see that under the close by pips profit. This is set to false, and it says 50 pips profit. So if you want to use this expert advisor in the tester, the strategy tester, to test the strategy, just turn that to true, and it should work just fine. Since we can't use in the strategy tester, we can't test all three pairs at the same time using the close all EA. Um, it just doesn't work like that. So you have to run each pair individually. So we have that set to false because we do have the EA close all managing the closing of all these uh, three pairs that we have trading in the market. So the reason why we have that happening is because uh, these three pairs, I want them to be working with each other, not individually. We would be making more profit if we were having 50 pips being taken on each individual pair. But since we have 50 pips being taken amongst all three pairs at the same time, we will take a little bit less profit, but it will also be much safer. Our trades will close out a lot faster, and we'll be able to have a lot less drawdown. So how does that actually work? So let's take, for example, we have three trades in on the pound Canadian dollar, and we have one trade in on the Aussie CAD, and one trade in on the New Zealand Canadian dollar. So that's five trades altogether, right? And the trade on the Aussie CAD is at 0 pips profit. Do the trade on the New Zealand Canadian dollar is at 0 pips profit. The pound Canadian dollar with the three trades is in 50 pips profit. So at that point, when we're at 50 total pips profit amongst all three pairs, all the close all expert advisor closes out all trades, all five trades at the same time for a total realized profit of 50 pips. So that's how the expert advisor, the close all EA expert advisor functions, um, and why it helps with our trades because we're working together. That means that in most cases we are able to close out trades much earlier than anticipated because we're able to draw out profit for longer periods of time on certain pairs that are doing very well, um, and that will happen. You'll see that. It will also get us out of higher potential drawdown periods that happen on each individual pair by the expert advisor uh, or by the strategy working together as a whole. All right, so then the next thing I wanted to cover, and something that's also really important in keeping the strategy working in the long term, is the idea of one trade for each candle. So we can only execute one trade per candle. So that means that if we have, for example, like what we have here on the Aussie CAD, and this is a 65 pip candle, and if we were in a long trade or a buy position in on this candle, we would only have one trade executed. Typically, if that feature wasn't enabled, we would have three trades in on just this one candle. And you can see that can be very dangerous because that means that when the market moves very quickly, there's a lot of volume, it's a lot of volatility. It can really cause a grid trading system to fail because of too many trades in too quickly of time, too fast, or too quick amount of time. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but anyway, you get my idea. So This function is something that I find to be very valuable because it doesn't mean that we have a perfectly clean 20-pip grid system. It means that we're able to work with the volume of the market for a better, more conservative grid that is able to move with momentum of the market. Okay, so guys, I hope this was informative to you, and I will be trading a live account of 2564 from, as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, 2005-64. And I'll be using this trading strategy exclusively, so exactly what you're using, and I'll be using it exclusively on this live trading account. I'll attach it to my FX book so you can track the stats, and it's a good way to see if you're um, in on the same trades as I am when it comes to checking your trades compared to mine. All right, so everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.